Dude, we switched sides.
Yeah, and you started the video.
I'm in charge. Look, I can't show you, but
E3 was so boring and underwhelming that we had to do something to spice it up.
You got to put the boring and underwhelming guy in charge. I got the mouse now, bitch.
That's not what I meant.
What up?
But all right.
That's what I meant. Let's do it.
All right, man. So Sony. I need cricket. I need a cricket sound effect. So I have a question for you.
Yeah, I'll kill myself if you will.
Don't do that yet. No, once you answer the question, you can do it.
Okay. All right.
Was Sony's conference
shitty?
That boring and cold and impersonal and not fun? Or is their bar so high for the last couple of incredible PSXs and E3s they've had that even this might have actually been okay, but it was just we have an expectation that was just not met.
100% that.
Because it wasn't that bad.
No,
right?
it wasn't. It wasn't terrible. We've probably seen worse, but recently it's always been so good.
Yeah.
I think the entire time, much like with Microsoft that I talked about, we were waiting for that thing to happen, and we were like, all right, here we go.
Dude, did you have that? Did you watch the whole Bethesda conference?
And then nothing happened.
You watched the Bethesda conference?
I watched it at work, I think.
It was at 9 p.m.?
Nope. Wasn't it? What did I watch at work?
It was 9 p.m. on Sunday night?
I did watch it. I watched it with Cassie. I made her sit there and watch it.
Okay.
And I was immediately turned off when they opened it up with Doom VR.
Yeah.
And what else?
And Fallout 4.
I'm getting them confused because Sony did Skyrim VR.
Yeah, I know.
And then we had Fallout 4 VR.
But the reason I'm bringing up Bethesda, because what you were talking about with Sony, is that I thought at the very end of that conference when Pete Hines came back out,
Me too.
I thought, okay, this has been an okay presentation. But if they bring out something big right here at the very, very, very ending, it will make the rest of that actually really good.
And he gave off that vibe.
He did so
bad. He was
bad.
like, all right.
He kept like,
right? I hope everyone had a good time.
And then it turned out I was like,
and then it was over. And we were like,
what?
I was immediately like, I was getting ready to text you like, fuck you, Elder Scrolls is coming.
Oh, no. I knew it wasn't Elder Scrolls.
The little boy in me had a dream.
No, there was never a moment where I thought it was Elder Scrolls. I thought it was going to be the other IP that Bethesda Softworks is working on.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Doom VR?
No, that's not Bethesda Softworks.
That's what we get
That's
now.
Bethesda Publisher.
No, but that's all we're getting now.
Here's the thing. To go on an Elder Scrolls tangent real quick.
Please. By all means.
And then we'll go back to Sony. Sorry.
By all means.
There's two reasons you're not getting Elder Scrolls 6 in the next 2 years. Reason one is that people are still buying Skyrim. They keep releasing it.
Blows my mind.
And you motherfuckers keep buying it.
Blows my mind.
And so remove yourself for a moment. Think of, as a company, why in the hell...
That's how many years it's been out.
Why? But if you're still making millions of dollars, why? Why would you make another one? Why? There's no reason. There's no reason to make it.
For me.
You do it for me. Think of that like this.
You do it for me.
You can't think of it like that. They're making bank on Skyrim.
Where?
Dude, all the Switch people are going to buy it. Come on, they're going to.
They play.
The VR people are going to buy it. The special edition people, I personally know a bunch of people.
I bought it. It's
your fault.
I know.
It's your fault. They're still making money on it.
It wasn't even that different.
No.
Oh my god.
So, that's reason one. Reason two is close to my heart, and it's Elder Scrolls Online. Now, people need to stop getting it. A lot of people think that the people who make Elder Scrolls games are making an ESO Online. It's not true at all. Totally different development team. However, if you were to drop Elder Scrolls 6 announcement a week after Morrowind comes out for ESO, you effectively crush Morrowind. Crush it. Why would you even bring it up again? No one cares.
Makes sense.
And that game is now sold. They confirmed with us that game has sold 10 million copies. So you're not going to step on ESO's throat right now. No, not if you're sold 10 million copies. It's a business, man.
I agree with you.
They will do it. But as long as their Skyrim is selling, that's the... No, if it's just one of those. If ESO didn't exist, they'd do it. If Skyrim was not still selling copies, they'd do it. But both of those together, until Skyrim dies off, they won't make 6. Guarantee it. So stop buying Skyrim, everybody. Okay, back to Sony. So I don't know about your experience, but my experience with the conference opened up with everything being dead silent. Couldn't hear anything.
Really?
Nope.
Was there an audio problem?
There was audio problems on Twitch and on most of the YouTube feeds, with the exception of like one YouTube feed was okay.
Really?
So I saw the Uncharted, and I saw the Frozen Wildlands
with no
audio, and I was losing my shit. I was like, this is fucking E3, and you're showing me DLC for Horizon, and you can't fucking give me fucking volume. I was so mad, dude. I was like a football guy, and I am a football guy.
Right.
But I was like, it was like the Seahawks were losing a playoff game. I was so mad. I was losing my shit, dude. I was like, what the fuck is Sony in the lead? You can't be this complacent without volume. And then the volume turned on for the Days Gone thing. So,
whoa!
So what did you think?
Where do
you're done with Horizon, right?
I never beat it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You're like,
I don't want to say I'm done. It's definitely not meh. Definitely not meh. Who said
I'm
meh?
just giving you shit.
I didn't say meh.
Because you're always like, no, there's none. All these games suck, and then you have this great game at home and you don't even play it.
I didn't say all these games suck.
No,
I said I was.
E3 is so shitty.
It is really shitty.
It
a lot
has
of people
been.
would agree with me.
I
loved
shitty.
Horizon, but another woman has come into my life, and her name's Overwatch.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Awesome. I'm just giving you shit. By
I know, and I'm definitely not done with Horizon. I still probably won't get the DLC. I'm not a huge DLC guy. I usually don't tend to come back to a game, but since I haven't finished it, maybe I will.
Yeah.
You know, thinking optimistically.
It would be like just part of the
game.
game.
It'd be perfect. Jump back in, beat it, and knock out the DLC maybe before or after. Oh, you can't do it after, right?
Yeah, you can.
I thought when you beat the game, it ended.
No.
Is that Zelda I'm thinking of?
I don't know. But it's not Horizon. You can keep playing.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a reload of the most recent save right before the end?
It's not. No, but even if it were, you could still play the DLC.
Right. But I meant like end game cutscene. I believe I was told you can't keep going after. Like you reload the most recent save.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe so. It is. Yeah, you do go. You reload the most. But that wouldn't prevent you from playing the DLC.
No, yeah. That's not what I meant.
But you're right.
Okay, and then
it does go back. It's like Witcher.
I'd love to go back to Horizon. Touching on where you kind of left off. You finally got audio in around Days Gone.
Days Gone. Yep.
We had a talk beforehand, which we should really stop doing, about our impression of Days Gone.
Yeah.
And we immediately had the same reaction, which was, it seemed...
We were wrong. Remember, the other day we were defending it, saying just because it has trees and zombies doesn't mean it looks like Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
We were so
fucking wrong. It gave off, not implying anything, it gave off very... Hey, they could be watching.
Speak for yourself.
It gave, for me, it gave off very... maybe unintentional Last of Us-ish vibe. What? Why are you raising your eyebrows, man? Why'd you raise it? I saw it right there. You raised your eyebrows.
Mason, look at the camera, not the screen.
I saw it right there.
I know, but look at this thing.
I know. It gave off very Last of Us-ish vibes, and we both got that feeling at the same point in the trailer.
Yeah.
Which was when, you kind of drive by those wolves eating that dead guy, and then you're driving through a road and you get hit by, or he gets hit by some kind of trap, right? Falls off his bike, and two guys run up, and now you're in combat, which is when it immediately felt like Last of Us, because the guy grabs you, another guy runs up. Even if you played as much Last of Us as we did, when he hits him in Last of Us, it had a special thing where when guys would hit you, or you would hit guys, it sped up right as you hit him. It gave you kind of an impact.
It just made it feel like really
you
visceral.
could feel like you were really punching somebody, and that's what they did almost exactly. But it didn't look as good. Remember, like how Last of Us?
It didn't look quite as good. Yeah,
it definitely didn't look as good. Then it all felt like that.
But
for
me, it went from a game that was like incidentally like Last of Us to a game that was like, look, we just love Last of Us.
And we like motorcycles.
Bend Oregon's Sony Bend was like, Last of Us is what we're making. I mean,
we didn't tell you.
Days Gone. Sorry,
we didn't tell you. It's
like I went from thinking it was similar to being it's a blatant clone of that game. It's a blatant. I mean, like the only thing they're missing, and I think they're probably going to have, is like you need to escort some girl across the country. Like I wouldn't be surprised. I would not even be surprised.
Amazing.
It'll be like a dude now. It'll be like a 14-year-old kid, a boy.
Like with cancer, and
it'll be like, let's go.
Something.
I was really that, and the fact that I don't understand Sony, and this goes for a few other games too. bringing a game back that you had in E3 last year and showing another game clip that's exactly the same. Like, if you're going to bring a game back that you've revealed already, you need to expound upon it, like they did with the last one.
He had bear traps.
With the last game, though. Spider-Man?
Right, yeah.
They brought it back, but it was way expounded upon.
I think you're comparing the second trailer of Days Gone to...
It's the same thing. Like, they're different scenarios,
bear traps.
But there's a couple of minutes of just gameplay. It didn't tell me a release date. It did nothing new for me. Now I'm like, I don't want to see this game anymore. Just fucking release it. Because you're obviously having problems if you can't show an extended gameplay or bring out people to talk about the game or give me a release date. Nothing.
They're approaching the "you've shown too much but not enough" line.
You know what I mean? Go one way or the
other.
other.
Too much of one thing.
Right.
And that, I think, is the downfall of a lot of great games. We're approaching that with Far Cry 5. I think so as well.
Well, Far Cry 5 just got announced like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and how much have we seen? Like a shitload of stuff.
Just Ubisoft.
They have like character trailers and like...
I would think it would be too much if they came back and did the same thing again next E3. Like, what are you guys doing?
Right,
why is this still not out?
Change, but okay. Remember the first trailer for Far Cry 5, which we talked about.
Yeah.
When it's just like that.
I barely touched on Far Cry 5 in my Ubisoft coverage.
And then that guy running, and then he gets shot.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah. Leave it at that. That's fine.
They can't do that.
I know.
Like, because unfortunately, there's too many people. There's too many people out there who don't know what Far Cry is, even at 5 games in. They have to advertise the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Whoever you are out there who is like, what's this Far Cry business?
Hope you weren't a fan.
Like,
I mean, it was so... We don't even have notes. Remember...
Sony?
Yeah.
Remember? I don't need to remember all of it. So then they did those 3 games, opened up, boom, boom, boom. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then, I should say, the opening with the music was fucking cool. With the sitar, they were playing like Indian. Yep. They were like Indians playing. Oh, it was fucking awesome.
They were like Indians.
They were Indians. There was Indian music.
Sitar.
It was awesome. Flute and shit. It was awesome.
It was a flute.
It was really cool. I said awesome like 6 times. I'm sorry. With the water in the background, and they had the lighting. It was cool.
Was it awesome?
Fuck you. So they brought those 3 games out. Uncharted. I didn't even want to see it. I'm glad there was no volume actually, because I'm just like, I don't want.
Maybe they did that on purpose.
I'm ready to go. No, definitely not.
Oh, come on.
I'd be even more mad than I was.
I know, right?
I was so livid last night. I was so livid. And then Sean Layden comes out and he's really awkward, which he normally is not. Sean Layden, he comes out and he's like, look, it's about the games. And he's like, this one's a legacy title or whatever. And then he walks off. And then they showed, and just for the rest of the show, and all of them were doing this, they just hit play on a movie.
Yeah.
And no one ever comes out again.
Yeah.
You don't see anybody. At least with when Ubisoft showed Beyond Good and Evil 2, they brought the developers out there and they got emotional because it's been 16 years and really hard for them to get the game out and all this. And they were talking about it and we were interviewing. It was interesting conversation.
Still didn't get any gameplay.
I know that. I'm just saying. I'm not talking about the trailers. I'm just talking about the way that you present your game.
Yeah.
And this was I could have just edited this together on this fucking video pad here and put it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no production. They just hit play, and Sean Layden didn't come back until way later, end of it.
Yeah,
and then it started with the Monster Hunter Worlds. Give me your impression.
You excited?
I want to hear what you.
I've never played a Monster Hunter game.
Neither have I. I'm familiar with the franchise. I thought that it looked like a remaster of a game that came out in 2005. Yeah, it was the animations were fucking wonky
right off the bat when he's walking through the tree. And it's really weird, and they just kind of shudder out of the way.
And the dinosaurs were it wasn't on purpose. It looked like shit, and they were all moving like this. They had little dinosaurs running around there.
But
what the fuck?
I will tell you, we have a mutual friend who's very excited about that game.
Yeah,
this is what bothers me.
I mean, I get being excited, but it looks like shit.
But I feel it
objectively
me.
Animations don't work.
People. They're just accepting it, though. I don't like that. I don't like that everyone's just giving in to the shit
the hype
we're being fed.
Here, okay, can I admit to, and I've done this before,
Please.
I want to admit to that a little bit.
Please. I do it too.
Assassin's Creed Origins?
Yeah.
I have no reason to believe that'll be good, but I'm really excited.
It looked okay. It looked good.
That looked fucking awesome.
It looked good.
Combat looks not great.
No, but it's never been amazing.
Yeah, but it always looked good. It was no substance at all, but it looked flashy.
Right. No,
now he's like, yeah,
and
I didn't see any countering or anything, so I don't know. I have to play it. I'll have to play. I don't know. It's still day one for me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm that problem. I'm that gamer.
We're all that. No,
we all have one like
we're
that.
all that.
So I'm not. You know,
no,
I don't look down on someone who's excited for Monster Hunter. I mean, it looked like a 13-year-old game. It really did.
Yeah.
But just with like better lighting and texture. Like when he was running away, the camera was so bad. When he was running away from the T-Rex or whatever, he had these big shoulder pads, and he was like, and I just started laughing in the middle of it. It looked so
admittedly,
shitty.
It's not our type of game.
Yeah.
There's probably never a day where you and I were going to play this game, no matter what it looked like. Probably.
Maybe. I've heard a lot of good things about Monster Hunter. Like massive battles against these giant creatures. Yeah. And you have to dodge them and hit them and like come up with strategies to fight them.
But
so
it's always
it sounds
been like
cool.
That, and we've never played it.
Well, it's because it was on DS, and so I don't own a DS.
Right.
Now it's on a console. Now it's here. It's on a console that I own, and it didn't look good. Like, I'm not saying personally to me, it's not my type of game. I didn't say that. I said it looked like shit. Like, technically like crap. It looked like crap. It looked old and janky.
Yeah.
And that's not good. Like, I mean, if I were a fan, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Why does this look so low budge, man? Anyway, so that was that. Now, did they go into VR right after that, or did they release another game?
I don't remember the order.
I remember all the games that were shown.
So what I did, because I wasn't able to watch the conference while it was live. So afterward, I went in and watched the trailers.
Oh, okay.
Split up on YouTube, like we were just doing.
Yeah.
So I don't have it in order.
So here's my problem with VR. I accept it as a legitimate art form and technology. I don't think it's that great right now. Oh. And Sony spending 15 to 20 minutes to appeal to less than 1 million people who purchased VR when you've sold like 60 million units of PlayStations is ridiculous.
PlayStation's killing it.
But it gets worse. In the middle of your VR bullshit that you just on and off, these games that look like fucking original, like PS2 and original Xbox titles, in the middle of it, you have a Supermassive game, the dev team Supermassive, that made Until Dawn, which was fucking awesome, by the way. Great game. And they just fucking roll past that. They're like, Supermassive Games, Patient, done. I'm like, Impatient. Whoa, that was Supermassive, wasn't it? Didn't that game do really well? And everyone loved it?
Yeah.
Fucking, that train was moving. I just didn't get that. Why would you not focus on your Supermassive game? That was a great. I was blown away that they just moved that shit out.
No, man. I don't know. I don't know.
It just kept going and kept moving. They had this shitty side scroller looking game that I don't remember. Oh god, they showed Marvel versus Capcom Infinite.
Yeah.
It looked like shit.
I'm just not interested. It looked like Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
They look like plastic dolls as they walk up, and they're like, "Oh no, we have to fighting."
Really?
Oh my god!
After just playing Injustice 2, it's like...
Yeah, dude, it looked terrible.
Oh my god!
It looked like a PS2 game, and not just graphics, but like animations, facial expressions, voice acting. All of it was just trash. They had Rocket Raccoon in there. They had Rocket, and he sounded like someone's dad doing his best impression of the film. And I get you can't get the best voice actor for it, but like...
Can't get Bradley Cooper.
You can't get Bradley Cooper, but it just... it was just pandering, and oh man, it was low energy, just the most... They were all just standing there, and none of them have actual like facial expressions, so they're like...
Just stressing me out, man. There's no stage etiquette among any of these conferences, maybe with the exception of your man Phil Spencer.
I love Phil Spencer. And Pete Hines for Bethesda does good if they were to... But
he
Bethesda
died.
just hit play as well.
Pete Hines died. And then...
well, he was there twice.
But then he died.
There was no Todd Howard. They didn't even have Todd Howard.
That's who I'm thinking died. Todd Howard died.
No, Pete Hines is the guy that was there.
Hines
He's cool too.
Had a stomach bug, and he had to go in the back, take care of it.
They just had to hit play on their movie.
Oh, Pete's not feeling good. Let's go. And then they got him in the back. Todd Howard died. That's what I've heard.
Both those guys I like a lot.
But everyone else, like the developers, do they not do like a rehearsal?
Sean Layden was like...
Do you know?
And Sean Layden, for Sony, is usually pretty good. Pretty good. He's, you know, kind of a funny guy, kind of sarcastic, but
It's still awkward, though.
He was terrible. Yeah. He was bumbling over his lines. He looked nervous. It just had the Sony conferences had a weird aura the whole time, and I just didn't understand.
At what point did Shadow of the Colossus get?
That was after the VR,
sure.
and after Monster Hunter, and after the VR, and all that stuff.
Give me your thoughts on that, and then I'm going to give you my uber pessimistic thoughts on that.
Okay, so my thoughts on that. There's two things. Now it was made by Blue Point, who are people who do remasters.
Do the remasters, right?
That's not a remaster. That game is not a fucking remaster. It looked brand new. I think they're developing that game. Mm-hmm. So the good news is, and I can't remember the name of the dev team, so I apologize, but the dev team that just released, it's related to that title, with the big dog.
That's what I was going to ask you, what that was called.
Eco or whatever? I don't remember.
People are freaking out right now.
Whatever, dude. I don't remember the name of that game.
Shadow of the Colossus, and then that's what I would go into my point while you look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
That's what I was gonna bring up. Is people lost their fucking minds over this game, Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah.
And then all I could think was about
The Last Guardian. I didn't have to look
Guardian.
it up. I just remembered.
All I could think about was that game and how it came out, and everyone was so excited for it, and then nobody played it.
Well, no one should have been excited for that. That game took over a decade, I think.
At least.
So that's a problem. I mean, that obviously the game was not going to be great. If you take 10 years to make a game, you've probably restarted at some point.
Yeah, but don't you feel like we're heading down the same?
Well, it's not the same dev team. I will say that it's a different dev team, and they're far along. The game looked good. The game looked beautiful.
Yeah, people thought The Last Guardian looked good too, though.
And a lot of people liked it.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Maybe
No, it didn't sell.
Maybe my ears
There's a
in
difference.
the wrong place.
There's a difference
right,
between people liking a game. Mm-hmm. A lot of people like Jade Empire too. You can go talk to people and talk about them. I love Jade Empire. Didn't sell for shit. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean it wasn't enjoyable.
Fair enough.
So some people enjoyed Last Guardian. They thought it was great. I read some really great reviews of it. I read some really bad reviews of it. But it didn't sell shit because they barely even marketed it. So I, for one, I did not play Shadow of the Colossus. I heard a lot about it. It's a cultural icon of Sony. So it's a big iconic franchise for them. So I think it's a good idea to release it if you're remaking it like that, because you are letting people like me give it a shot. If I see more coverage of it and I think it's going to be good or whatever, I'll try it out. Yeah. It looked really good. But I don't have any expectations, and I'm not like flipping the fuck out because I don't have that connection to that game. I understand if you were flipping out, if that's one of your favorite games of all time or whatever. What are we at? 23? Not bad. Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like, it just nothing about that makes me super excited.
No,
but
me neither.
We'll see. And then after that, we had the Call of Duty trailer.
What'd you think of that?
It was just right along with this conference. It was like, okay,
kind of anticlimactic, right?
Very.
I thought it was just me. This whole year, not the whole year, but the whole past
conference has
4
kind
days,
of been lame.
I'm like, I actually wondered to myself, like, do I still like games? Like, for the last, 4 days, I've been like, is this when it happens? When you cross into adulthood and you're like, you don't like games anymore? And I was like, no, I still want to play Overwatch. I was like, no, I still like games. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
No, nothing's wrong with you. When we were arguing about the original Xbox thing, I think that's a moment where you don't give a fuck about playing an original Xbox game. Generally speaking, there might be one, like KOTOR.
Not again. I don't dislike the original Xbox, and we don't have to go into it. I don't dislike the original Xbox, and
I'm talking about the idea of backwards compatibility, and I'm not getting into the argument.
No,
I'm just talking to you about
the
idea of it, and the thing was though, I think you were thinking about what your idea of was, and there's no way this can be exciting to anyone, which is not true. And also, Microsoft is not going to do anything. Sony won't do anything they don't think they can make money on. I don't feel like
they don't think they can.
That's all they care about.
Right.
And if backwards compatibility for the 360 did not make them any money and did not make them any good publicity, then they wouldn't do this too. That's the only point I was making. There's no viable reason to put resources and people, talented people, on creating emulators for your brand new box to do that if you don't think anyone will touch it.
It's fair.
You just wouldn't. Why would you do it? They have data backing up showing that people spent time playing 360 games on their Xbox One. Enough for them to be like, man, let's... And also, Phil Spencer has talked about building an ecosystem where it's a platform for everything. It's game preservation. It's historical preservation, which games are terrible. The industry is awful at preserving history. They just, as soon as games are done, they're like, yeah, fucking toss them out! And we have no record of games. It's crazy. All the games that are just disappeared from the ether. So I think it's kind of a cool way to help preserve gaming history as well. But anyway, that's not the point I was making. The point I'm making is that I just don't think there was anything that was particularly for you in this E3. I'm sure there's people we could find that were excited.
No, yeah, we know them.
For me,
we know a bunch of
there
them.
were when I take apart E3 into pieces, there's a number of things
for
that
me,
I find
for
exciting.
me as well, and we talked about that, and there's a lot of things I'm excited about,
But when you put them together, there wasn't a moment where like, man, I'll remember that years from now.
It was a lot
there
of
wasn't
like,
even those bad moments.
And then, wow! And then, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I never even got that high on anything. There was never a moment when I was like, you know, like some people had that moment with Beyond Good and Evil 2. That's a cult classic.
Yeah.
Things like that. But there wasn't that. Like PSX when they showed Last of Us 2.
No,
right?
yeah.
Whoa.
Who are you talking to? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Fuck yeah.
You know, any of those games, like any of those, our favorite games are like that. When they show something that... So, they didn't show a bunch of stuff that we were personally really invested in. That's not the fault of E3, but I just felt like none of it was... I was just never really, like, super impressed with anything. There's a handful of games that I'm like, cool, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
That's hot.
So,
I mean, that's the way to sum it up.
So Sony moved on. I want to finish the conference here. So Call of Duty, totally underwhelming. Really like popcorn, movie theater action. It wasn't.
I mean, that's kind of their thing, though, right?
I was bored to tears.
I mean?
Yeah, I felt like the first one they showed was like the first trailer they showed was really epic and like dark and gritty and realistic and like a war movie. You know? So
now they're going for like the Nicolas Cage World War II movie feeling.
Oh god. Then there was that
the
VR. That's when they got into the VR thing after that. The VR Final Fantasy fishing game. I was like, go fucking kill yourself.
Sounds like garbage, but I didn't watch it.
There's a screenshot from it.
There was a big reel of PSVR. Well, is that a pun? Is that a play on words?
Yeah, but there's an image right there. They're sitting by the campfire.
Oh man.
And you could VR fish, and like these fucking anime.
That looks great.
Little fuckers would be like,
I mean,
they'd be like, ah, yeah, fish.
Look,
I'm
man,
like, oh, this looks great.
It's been called a masterclass in gaming, and I'm not disagreeing. You know what I mean? Big reel.
So, Star Child, no one remembers what that is.
Real.
The Inpatient is a supermassive game that they just brushed over, even though that's a huge title for them.
Big reel.
Yep. Monster of the Deep? I don't even remember. Oh, that's what the fishing game is called. And a cute little fantasy game called Moss. It was super, super cute and full of personality, but it's VR, so I won't play it.
Right. Correct.
Then we got to the goods of this conference.
Hit me with the goods.
Fucking God of War looks so fucking awesome.
Looks good.
Looks amazing.
Yeah. No, yeah. Looks really good.
Like, I've been talking to these...
Like, aesthetically, it looks really good.
The combat looks good, too.
Yeah.
He's swinging that axe and, like, chopping those guys in half. Oh, man.
It was confusing to me because I always wondered how they were going to work in the whole... Because it's always been... And I'm not a huge God of War fan. It's always been, like... fast-paced, and you're getting combos, and it was above the top, and so now that the camera angle is kind of over the shoulder, that more third-person action game, I wondered how they would do that. It looks great.
It looks so cool.
Oh, yeah, it looks really cool.
There's people who were like, but God of War is this, and I'm like, it doesn't need to be that. That was many, 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 many years ago.
Change is okay.
And it's been a long time.
Change is okay.
He needs his chains. I'm like, well, but that axe is freaking cool. Like, I just don't... It looks great. Like, it looks like it's going to be a really good game. I could be totally wrong, but I think it's going to be I don't think they're. I don't know, man.
No one knows.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fantastic.
I think you're more than likely.
Again, but at the same time, all that said, nothing really new to bring to the table. I don't want to see that game again until it releases.
And you will.
I'll see a launch trailer. That's fine. Launch trailer's fine. But like, oops, I hit play. I hit play on the.
Oh, we're getting sued by PlayStation.
Yeah, it's like you can't even give us a release date. 2018, early 2018.
Everything. Wasn't everything at that conference?
Sony everything was 2018. Like, what are you doing right now? Oh my God. But that was the other problem. Is like you don't even have a release date for a God of War. Fishy shit, man.
Fishy shit.
Again, same thing. This game looks great. Detroit, made by Quantic Dream, who made Heavy Rain. I loved Heavy Rain.
The more I am exposed to this game, the less I care about it.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know. That first trailer, I was like, "What is that? Yeah, let's fucking do it." And then every time they even talk about it afterward, I'm like, "What? I'm not gonna play this."
No.
I just get that weird feeling like I'm just not gonna touch it.
Weird.
It is really weird.
Looks great.
And I still have no idea what the game is.
Well, you didn't play Heavy Rain, did you?
No, I didn't play Heavy Rain. I think isn't that like where you start out and she's like brushing her teeth and you control her while she's brushing her teeth?
Yeah, it's like it's
that's
a little,
where it lost me. I was too young at the time.
It's a little QTE.
Yeah.
And that's always been like an insult to those games is that like there's not like a lot of direct action that you're playing, but it's not. It's more they're like better versions of Telltale games.
Yeah, fair enough.
They're better looking, better performing, better everything. Basically, they're just better versions of Telltale games. Think of it that way.
Yeah.
And the choices actually matter, whereas Telltale, you just take a forked road that meets in the same spot regardless. It's just different window dressing. It's opposite. Detroit is all about the fact that there's like a bajillion different ways that things go. This decision affects this is a butterfly effect. It's really intense, and it's almost endless replayability if you were into that. But it just adds a feeling of intensity because you know that the decision you're about to make is actually going to change the outcome of that scenario every time.
Yeah.
And that no one's experience will be exactly the same as your own. So it's really personal, and the characters are good, the writing is really good, and I love the idea, I like the near future setting, it's everything. Now, stop it. Stop. If you don't have fucking details, stop showing me trailers. And that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Here's 4 more minutes of this game we've been showing you 4-minute clips of for years. Get the fuck out of here and just give me the game. Getting sick of this, man. Sick of this shit.
We're on the same page.
But I think it looks great, and I will definitely be playing it. Whenever it fucking comes. 2018.
2019.
Alright, then they finished off with fucking Spider-Man.
Fuck yeah.
Rocked.
And this was what I was going to bring up earlier, but I wanted to wait, where you talked about games that aren't necessarily marketed toward me personally.
Yeah.
And then I had to like take off my shallow Hal visor, if you will, and think like maybe this game looks terrible, but I fucking loved Spider-Man, all of the games. Not all.
That game did not look terrible.
I don't know. See, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, because to me,
the game looked awesome.
Because to me, I'm like, is that the Mason opinion or is that real life? I need to hear someone else say it that it looked great. And then there were parts I had problems with. Day one. I don't like that. Pretty much the entire ending was a quick time event.
Yeah.
I don't know who the Asian guy is.
Well, that's not a problem though.
It's kind of a problem.
Really.
Well, kind of.
Why?
Because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan and I had no idea who that guy is. And I don't read the comics, which is why I don't know who he is. But don't you think when you're exposing the game and you're trying to get attention, you would show someone like more impactful that like a more like a more casual fan would know? Don't you think? Give me Shocker. Everyone knows who Shocker is. Shocker could have been up in that helicopter shooting at bitches with his lightning. You know what I mean?
That game just looks so good.
It doesn't bother you at all.
No,
that you have no fucking clue who that guy is.
I don't care. That's the whole point of a story. If I know everything that's going to happen and who everyone is, well, who cares?
Not a superhero story. Isn't that the kind of the thing? You know everything about that person, but you get to watch it kind of play out differently.
I mean, I didn't know how the Batman games were going to turn out, and those were awesome.
Yeah, but you knew all the villains.
But I didn't know when they would come in or who they were, or like I mean, I know
you knew
what they looked like, but I didn't know when they were going to come into the story, how they were impacting the story, any of it.
Yeah, but there was no one ever in a trailer for a Batman game where you were like, who is that?
Okay, so this game looks awesome to you, but all we care about is the fact that this villain was not recognized.
It's not all I care about, but that was mainly what bothered me is I don't know who that guy is, and it was the ending.
Oh my god, between you and Doug, man, I can't handle it.
Shout out to Doug.
My gosh.
Keeping it real.
Guys hate everything.
Hey, somebody's got to. This guy won't. Keep it real, Doug. Yeah, other than that, it looked great. I like how it kind of has like a weird... There were like stealth aspects to it, which was cool.
that was cool.
Which you
the
saw...
The takedowns were awesome.
Yeah, you saw that a little bit in like, I want to say Spider-Man 1 on GameCube.
Oh, wow.
There was a little bit of that, where you like broke into like Oscorp, and you had to like take down the terminals, and it was hilarious. But it never worked well indoor in a Spider-Man game. But they weren't really indoors. They were in like a building that was being constructed in the new one. But it looked fun. It looked great. The combat looked cool. Obviously, every superhero game's combat now is pulled from Arkham, the Arkham games, just because they did it really well. It just works. It just works.
It looks good.
There's no reason not to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked really cool.
I like the takedowns a lot, man. I just all of the fluid motion. Insomniac is really good at capturing motion and making motion feel fast and fluid and fun. And that game just looks like a blast to play. Just hopping around, kicking guys off the edge, but then shooting them with the...
That was really cool. I was like, does that organically happen?
So awesome. I don't know. But like, you know, a game makes me excited when I can't think of any other adjective than awesome. And I've said awesome. Yeah. I keep saying awesome, 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 awesome. I'm usually good about my word choice, but I'm just pumped. It just looked great. It looked fantastic.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else negative about that trailer. It looked really good. The web slinging, quote unquote, looked amazing. That's always my favorite part about those games. It's just flying around.
Yeah, I agree with you. The QTE is a little concerning.
That was weird.
There was a lot of QTE, and it wasn't even hard. It was like, "Are you ready? This is blue. It's going to be X. Oh my God!" I'm like, "Okay, man."
Before you got on the helicopter, though, there was some QTE, but it did look like that part he was controlling, right? Yeah. Where you hit the building, you run on the building, you swing around.
I'm talking about like when the thing came down, you're crawling up, and it's like X.
And then you shoot
a
web. Yeah.
Circle. You're like, oh, come on.
That was a little bit of that.
But I don't mind, if that's just a little piece, I don't mind QTE in little tiny chunks of action games.
Totally, yeah.
It allows you to do really like God of War did it.
I was just gonna say that a lot of God of War was QTE,
and it was cool because it allowed you to do these big time moves that you don't do within gameplay.
Right.
That look great and they're fun as long as they're not really consistent. It's not a problem. It's just not a section that I would have shown in a little trailer, an extended gameplay. I wouldn't have shown a bunch of QTE. Maybe that's only the third or fourth QTE in the whole 20-hour game.
Yeah, no,
that's okay.
Totally, yeah, you could be totally right. Maybe they just wanted to show a big sequence.
Exactly. Which is what they want to just impress people with the buildings and the crashing and all that stuff. So,
dude, and I hope
it looks
like
phenomenal,
the part you mentioned where he kicks a guy and brings it back. Not to talk about it again. That had me like. I hope
just all the different, like, when you drop down and grab him and shoot him in the face and then wrap him up. And, you know, it's just great,
I know his thing is, like, you're probably not going to kill people.
Right?
That's why he brought him back. I was like, what if, like, is that, like,
I think it would be automatic.
Okay, I was like, can you...
But then what if you do that in the middle of combat? I guess, like, the other AI would just be programmed not to attack you while that animation takes place.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
So... But that was a really, like, the God of War and the Spider-Man were just these really high points in an absolute vanilla, cold, impersonal, boring fucking conference.
Right, agreed.
So Sony's wrapped up.
Sony.
Very quickly, because we're at like 30 minutes.
We're at 38. We'll quickly go over Nintendo.
Okay, so my Nintendo fans, look, guys. I'm a Metroid guy.
We've been meaning to talk to you.
I'm a Metroid guy. I'm a Pokemon guy. I get it. You're excited. Here's the problem. When you get a game announced,
right,
and there's no game, there's not even a CG.
Game.
They didn't even do a Beyond Good and Evil
like
CG.
A cool kind
it's like they decided yesterday to tell you about.
They're
this.
like, draw that now, and then
because they realized they had jack shit for the rest of their
put it together real quick. And no, it looked good. The logo looked good.
You're not seeing that game for years to come.
Sorry.
That's a bad sign when you don't get gameplay and they're announcing stuff.
Sorry.
Guess what? It's really old school.
Yeah.
And it's Nintendo. They don't understand how marketing works anymore. And the long, slow burn marketing is not a thing anymore. Stop doing it.
As a young man, my grandfather used to argue with my dad about global warming.
Oh, okay.
My grandfather didn't believe it was real. Didn't believe it was real.
Yeah, grandfather makes sense.
He's old. Whatever. He's just gonna...
Old, crotchety, doesn't want to change his thoughts.
That's how I feel about Nintendo. Yeah. It's very frustrating to me. Like,
it's like, why would you announce this? You've got nothing to... I feel like they say now in development, and the dev team is like in there with printer paper drawings pinned up onto a board, and they're storyboarding the thing out. Like it's
not attached.
It's not even close. And I just don't understand why they're telling us about these games.
And for the 3 Nintendo fans we have, they're probably really angry right now. And we should
give
them...
Jimmy
he wasn't even one of them.
Jimmy's realistic. Jimmy is a realistic guy.
And I spoke to Jimmy
today. I'm not
today.
saying that Nintendo... I'm not saying I don't like any of Nintendo's games. And some of you might call me biased. I promise, if Nintendo does something to impress me, I'll be impressed.
I bet you'd love Zelda.
Zelda looks incredible.
Yeah, I guarantee you.
I absolutely will play the fuck out of that game at some point soon. I just don't have the money to buy a Switch. That's all it is.
Same here.
I'm not going to buy a Switch for one game.
Same here.
So,
and that's all we have.
And I was actually waiting for Metroid to buy a Switch, but now I'm like,
we'll be waiting.
Yeah. So, they showed Yoshi.
What is that game?
So Yoshi, they released a Yoshi side scroller for the SNES that was fun. It was kind of a kiddie game, but it was fun. It was a colorful, popular game with catchy music and fun obstacles. It was good. It was a good game.
Okay.
And I was talking about when we were watching the trailer for it, I was like, I am not someone that needs God of War decapitating motherfuckers to be interested.
Right.
I like Little Big Planet. I like Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah, we talked about
Cuphead.
that. Yeah.
I'm interested in Cuphead. I like Ratchet and Clank. So I'm totally down with a kind of a cartoony look, fun, colorful art style. Not a problem. I'll be excited for it. But that game was marketed for 6-year-olds, and I felt like I needed to step outside of the room for a moment while the kids watched it.
The music and then the
aesthetic
set pieces were weird.
Just looked really overly simple, like you're just on a train track.
Everything was paper.
You know?
Everything had like a paper look to it.
Yes. And there's a thing where with your Switch, you can have the world can flip upside down, and like you're on, so you can like solve puzzles that way. And guess how you get the world to flip? By jumping.
Oh, you have to actually jump?
Yay! Woo! I'm flipping it! So, there's more Nintendo gimmicks for you.
Oh, no.
Woo! Then they released Kirby.
Which looked like the exact same game.
It's like an action. Kirby. It's like an action side scroller.
But it looked like
it was like a little quicker. It was a little faster.
A little bit, maybe.
And it had some more action.
Maybe for 10-year-olds.
It looked more like 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
But again, no one gives a fuck about Kirby. Even Nintendo fans don't give a fuck about Kirby.
I mean, they might.
There's a few out there, but like, and then, so there's all that. I don't know why everyone's saying they had the best show. I don't know what you guys are
because
talking
all
about.
The other ones were terrible too.
I guess.
Probably
maybe so.
just because that was the freshest one on their mind.
Yeah, Metroid. Yeah. Which, like, I would have, if they had shown gameplay, I would have lost my shit.
Yeah.
And it would have been, it might have even won Best of Show.
They had the 2D Metroid, right? Like, they're doing like a remake for DS or
Oh, are they? I don't know.
Yeah. Did you not? Okay.
I didn't see
I promise you I didn't make that up.
Okay, cool.
That's the thing.
That's cool.
Like a 2D remake.
For like Switch?
For 3DS.
Make it for Switch, you motherfuckers. It might be for Switch too. I don't know. Maybe later.
Maybe. I know for sure 3DS.
Let's get to the ending here because we're on 40 minutes.
Going
now.
long.
Mario Odyssey. What do you think?
He puts a hat on, man. It's so cool because it's Mario, and I know we like to think things are really cool just because they're old. He started out, and there were these guys with funny hats on, and then he tried to get into the room, but the guy wouldn't let him because he didn't have a hat, and then he bought a hat. And then he could use the hat as a weapon. And then he danced, and they gave him a moon. And then he wrote a bullet, which was cool. And then we shut it off.
I just turned it off.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Again, same thing with what I was saying earlier. I don't need a dark, realistic world to be into it. I don't.
No, yeah.
You can have a colorful, bright, happy tone game and get me interested with gameplay and art style.
Yeah.
It just looked old.
It looked old.
It looked like Mario 64, which in our minds is incredible, and it's one of the most revolutionary games of all time.
Because it's old.
Don't be that over the top. You have to give credit where it's due, man.
Okay.
You have to give credit where it's due.
I'm trying. I
It's
swear
the
to God,
first. It was like one of the first 3D worlds in gaming.
I swear to God, I'm trying.
I don't think
this is me trying. I
don't believe you.
My dick's not out. This is me trying.
It is. Mario 64 was amazing at the time. It didn't date. It didn't, because it was the first fucking 3D game. And Odyssey looks just like it. There's a flat space with a skybox and a few little buildings.
From what we saw.
And NPCs that just stand there.
From what we saw. Well, they dance too. They dance. Don't forget. They don't dance like that. They really dance. It's really good dancing. Yeah, like
and then you go up to them.
Like
you go to them, and they have a text bubble.
Mm-hmm. And they go doopa 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 doopa, and then it's words because they can't actually talk. And then, there were Goombas, right? Is that what they're called? Goomba?
Yeah,
right?
I think
the
so.
Little mushroom.
Yeah, little guys.
Mm-hmm.
He was throwing his hat at him.
Throwing the hat.
That looked really simple, and it looked like a kid's game.
Yeah.
It looked like a tiny little kid's game. It's like learning how buttons work. How is this fun?
I don't know.
I'm so disappointed. I was going to buy a Switch for Mario.
I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, everyone's going to hate us for this.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It's just good because it's Mario.
I hope this goes viral.
It's just good because it's
just
Mario.
because people hate on us. That's what I said.
It's just good because
That's what I just said, and you yelled at me.
What are you talking about?
I was like, it's just good because it's old. Because it's something.
I was giving credit.
It has a name.
I was giving credit to what Mario 64 did for gaming, and you said, "Nah, it wasn't actually good. It was just old."
I didn't say it wasn't actually good. I said
totally. What you said.
I said we're talking about it now because it's old.
I was talking. Oh,
I did not say it wasn't good. I didn't say it wasn't good.
You totally did.
No, I did not. I did not say that. All right.
Yeah.
I know this is the make Mason look like a piece of shit podcast.
I don't have to try.
I know. It's really easy. You just like to point it out. That's fine. Go ahead and keep repeating what I already said.
What, with Mario 64?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I was like, I can. I mean...
Keep going.
Well, we don't have anything else to say. It just looks really kind of crappy. And people are only excited because Mario's in it. You know?
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It didn't look good. The design didn't look good. The bones of the game looked ancient. You know, you have to change. Zelda... That Zelda game does not play like other Zelda games.
No, yeah.
They took a lot of stuff from more modern changes from open world games. They made some of their own changes, but it was great and it stood up because it looks and sounds like Zelda, but it plays like these other more modern RPGs. Mm-hmm. Because yes, Zelda 1 is a revolutionary RPG. Mm-hmm. It made RPGs famous. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean it's great now.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like you mentioned.
There's only a few. Some of the old games still play well. Like the original Mario is simple and it works, and I could still play it on my phone and enjoy myself. But like that's rare. Mm-hmm. And there's just Zelda made the changes. It caught up with the times and it perfected them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I was gonna say, not graphically, but if you had the gameplay,
the artwork is
of the newest Zelda compared to the one before it, you could obviously tell them apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just gameplay wise.
Just over the time.
I feel like with Super Mario Odyssey and Mario 64, if you had a way to not see it graphically, but just the way it plays next to each other. I still
think Odyssey wouldn't look good.
Even graphically.
No, even non-graphically.
No, that's what I'm saying.
If they both looked beautiful, they could both be incredibly beautiful, but that game...
That's what I'm saying.
It was just some buildings, design, where you place things, where Mario needs to run, what are the obstacles he needs to overcome to get from A to B. Mm-hmm. They sucked. Mm-hmm. There was a moving platform, one moving platform.
Yeah.
And it was going like that. And there was a building stuck in the desert. Yeah. And there's NPCs that just stand there, and they're just little, they're nothing. It's old. The design is flawed. Mm-hmm. Based on what we saw. Maybe they'll show a bunch more and it will blow our minds and be like, that was just like a shitty demo.
I hope so.
It's possible, and I'll be open to that.
Yeah.
If I'm proven wrong, I'm more than willing to admit it.
And we will record it.
Both of us always
apologizing sincerely.
Totally.
But as of now,
it looks like bullshit. Yeah. And like it looks like they're just cashing in because everyone loves Mario.
Everyone loves Mario. Yep. Everyone loves Metroid. Everyone loves what's his name? Yoshi. Everyone loves Kirby. That's all we saw.
Yeah.
What was the other one? The other one I didn't know anything about. Xenoblade?
Oh, there was Xenoblade Chronicles, JRPG.
I don't know anything about that.
They're good, I guess.
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being a fan incorrectly.
Well, there might be something that you're a fan of in that way. Like I said, like I'm kind of that way with Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. I've played all of them, even ones that are not objectively not great. I still enjoyed them.
That's why I wanted your opinion on Spider-Man. I'm glad you also liked it, but I was like,
really good.
This has to be terrible because everything else looks terrible. Really but I love Spider-Man. So
it
maybe
looks really good. I'm not going to say awesome again.
It looks really good.
It looks fantastic. It really does. I'm excited for Spider-Man. I just wish everything wasn't fucking 2018.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're going to have everything be 2018, don't make it all the same shit you showed us last year. Bring some new things in as well that we've never seen before. Mm-hmm. That isn't VR, which is less than 1% of your install base. Brilliant idea. Let's spend half our fucking thing on it.
No more Skyrim, please. And I know,
stop releasing Skyrim.
Stop releasing shit, please. And this is from two guys who love Skyrim.
I might even play Skyrim again in my day sometime. I mean, there's the Skyrim poster right there, and there's the map is right next to it.
There.
Huge Elder Scrolls fan.
But stop with the fucking Skyrim, please. Yeah, we don't want to.
Tired of it. I'll play it on my own in 5 years, probably. At some point, I probably will play it again.
You will. You'll jump back on a PC, and you'll play the
or Xbox. Or it'll be $5 someday, years from now, and I'll be like, shit, I'll buy it. Right. You know, but don't stop releasing it and stop buying it at full price. Stop it. Because it's the reason that 6. It's the reason that 6 is not here. That and ESO.
Fucked up, yeah.
Keep buying ESO though, because it's new content made by new people.
I need to buy
really,
ESO.
really good. You should join me
on Xbox.
I play it all the time.
I thought you didn't like playing it with other people though.
No, it just depends on who you're playing it with. I have friends who play it very differently. They skip all the text and dialogue, and then they run off.
Oh yeah.
And I sit there and I think, one, I'm into the lore, and two, like these people put hours and hours and hours of time in recording and writing all this dialogue, and I'm just going to skip over it?
Yeah.
It feels like I'm slapping someone in the face every time I skip it. So I just don't.
That makes a lot of sense.
I can't do it. So I play slow. I play at my own pace. I don't. So like when I have someone else with me, I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm like talking to the character. I'll be done in a minute. This is one of those things.
I do want to get back into it.
But I love to run dungeons and delves and PvP and all that with some other people. Cool. Absolutely.
We should make it happen.
All right, guys. Well, that was longer than we anticipated, I think. Thank you for listening to our ranting this long. If you managed to make it through all this, like, fucking
52 minutes,
all this bile of anger.
That's not how you sell a product.
All this, we were just all mad and grumpy about everything.
We are,
other than Spider-Man and God of War, which look great. Not awesome.
I just don't. Nothing looked awesome. Well, I mean, nothing looked above great. I know you're saying great instead of awesome. Nothing looked above that.
Nothing was like nothing leveled the floor. No. But there are a number of things I am excited for.
Yeah, me too. Even going back to Xbox and EA.
Yeah.
We talked about
Battlefront.
that.
Yeah. There were good individually things. Yeah. Overall, it was disappointing.
Very disappointing.
So, catch us next week for our final E3 video. I'm going to put together our top 5 games from E3, the worst conference from E3, and the best conference from E3. And that will be a fun show. It'll have a lot more footage than this one does with trailers and just all kinds of awesome stuff. So we're going to... awesome stuff. Awesome. And
it won't be an hour long.
And I will not say awesome in it at all. Promise.
You should pay $1 every time you say awesome.
Okay, starting now?
Pay me $1.